Welcome to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast with your host, Brandon Seigel. I'm a published author, speaker, entrepreneur, and private practice strategist dedicated to transforming the way that healthcare functions. This podcast is all about empowering you to create the change you want to see. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. This quick tip episode is all about crucial delegation blunders in private practice. Can you believe it? It happens. So I want to be clear. I've had it. You've had it. Your neighbors had it, the whole bit. Usually it's something like this. Hey, Brandon, I've tried this before. I came up with this list. I gave it to 3 different people. And honestly, it was a shitstorm, and it just fire everywhere. Nothing happened, and disaster waiting to happen. And I think that ultimately I am never going to delegate something again. Does that sound similar? I'm sure you've had that before, and I have, but what it really comes down to when I'm looking and dissecting, why did I have this blunder? Here's what I've found. First and foremost, lack of clear instructions. I think that because I write something down, it's clear, but it's not. I just had an email the other day, and one of my employees and I got it, and we were like, oh my God, we just got like a 10-page email. It makes no sense. It's not clear. And honestly, I just turned off at a certain point. So part of this is, what if you had a checklist? What if you had training videos? What if you had action-oriented, functional output exercises? So you're going to learn how to verify benefits. Here is all the questions that you need to ask. Here are the different tasks that I want you to think that contain this. And this is the outcome that each one should have. And then here are 5 examples. Watch this video, listen to it. And now I want you to do 3 example exercises as a result. Now we've got clear instructions, but here's another issue that we're seeing, and that's micromanagement. There's a difference between saying, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to do it. And these are the variables of importance, the things that we actually are tracking to make sure that the function gets done correctly. But every time I micromanage, I recognize that I either delegated the wrong thing to the wrong person, or I did not create clear instructions. And sometimes we have people that take things and they use their executive judgment to make a change that you don't like. I recently had I had a form that I created. I wanted it a certain way. The person executed it, but changed the entire form. Now, I'm not micromanaging everything, but when I got it, I said, hey, I noticed this stuff is missing. And the person said, well, I thought it was too long. And so evidence shows that it should be this length. And all you should do is this. And I said, I don't care what evidence says. If I asked for best practices, okay. I want it this way. And I'm okay to die in my grave knowing it didn't work out as long as it's done this way. If you had concerns, I would have rather you asked me before making that executive decision. Again, I want people to lead, but there's an opportunity in leadership of, if I have a certain defined criteria, follow the clear instructions. What do I think really happened? I assigned an inappropriate task. And that's a major mistake that people make. Honestly, I shouldn't have done it. I gave the wrong task to the wrong person. Can they functionally do it? Yes, but it was not appropriate. It wasn't. The other thing is insufficient resources. We're not giving the right resources, the right training, the right tools, the right ability. We're neglecting follow-ups. We're not following up with them. We're not making sure that things are getting done how we want. To expect everything to be perfect the first time, that's ignorance. Not going to happen. We outsource without accountability. And this is honestly, this is the reason why I started a revenue cycle management company, was that I hate the medical billing industry. Hate it. You're like, why do you play in it then? I hate it because there are so many of these medical billing companies that are hiring $12 an hour grocery baggers to do medical billing that don't know what they're doing, and they outsource 90% of the function, and they only chase the lowest hanging fruit. And the practice does not know how to hold them accountable because they are not medical billing experts. So I went on a mission to say, I am going to enforce accountability. And within my accountability, if I am not accountable to my results, guess what? That company can end my services with 30-day notice. So if I am not creating an abundance of value, all of my hard work is out the door. And guess what? Everything I billed prior that hasn't been collected, I ain't getting paid on. So I'm willing to go broke in order to prove accountability. So when delegating something through outsourcing, they better lose something. If there better be an accountability. If they're going to hire a recruiter to recruit for you, there better be accountability. If you're going to hire a medical billing company to bill, there better be accountability. There better be consequences for actions not being met, exceeded, or delivered. The other thing is we're ignoring strengths and weaknesses. We're not seeing what someone's strength or weakness is. So if I give a graphic designer a engineering project on a website, I'm ignoring strengths and weaknesses. That's on me. And I made that mistake and I own it. And sometimes it is what it is and I overcorrect. But it's really important to know what are the strengths and weaknesses? What is that sphere of excellence? The other common mistake is just a fear of delegating. I would rather just do it myself. And I have that fear of delegating, believe me. My wife would love for me to get an executive assistant, and I'm like, nope. So guess what? I do a lot of all of that, and that's okay. The other thing is there's no set deadlines. People create floating expectations. It's so crucial to have a deadline. Something as simple as, I need you to make the following 10 phone calls, Brandon, and I need report back at 2 p.m. That's not micromanaging. That's expectations. That's creating deadlines. Micromanaging is, I'd like you to make 10 phone calls, and here's your script. And then I sit next to them. I'm like, you just missed line 2. Say it again. That's micromanaging. Saying, here's the script. Here are the calls. Here's the outcome. This is the response I want. And I want this all done by 2 p.m. That's accountability. So a lot of people are making mistakes because they're not setting deadlines. Another mistake, poor communication. Poor communication. Whether it's not clear, not written, language barriers, dialects, whatever that may be. I mean no disrespect, but poor communication. One of the things I do is I over-communicate. So even today, I delegated a task to someone the other day. It had appeared as though that task was going to come back to me. I said to this employee, here are your options. You may delegate this task to the client in which you oversee and lead the end product. You may delegate it back to me in which you lead me on it, or you can choose to get it done yourself. And I didn't hear back. So I was like, okay. So I finally wrote back and I said, hey, is there anything else you need from me today on this cycle? And the answer was, no, thank you. Okay. I delegated it. I'm done. I can let go. I've now made it clear it's on them. Tomorrow, we'll have an accountability meeting. Where are we at with this? What is needed? What's going on? Communication, follow-up, follow-through. I am so type A. So when I am delegating, I had to send something to Marriott. I put a tickler in my calendar. Follow up with Marriott if you don't hear back by this date. Every little thing has an action and a reaction. There's a lack of trust. That is one of the issues we're running into. We delegate without trust. We need to foster trust by picking the right people, the right strengths, the right weaknesses, the right opportunities for us to thrive in our delegation approach. So, did you know that poor delegation contributes to 50% of failure in projects? Often due to unclear expectations and the lack of, you got it, follow-up. That was from the Project Management Institute. Again, 50% of project failures are a byproduct of poor delegation and due to unclear expectations and the lack of follow-up. In the words of Richard Branson, delegation is not about losing control. It is about gaining more time to focus on what truly matters. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast and our quick tips on crucial delegation blunders. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Please like us, subscribe, share it with the world, and remember, together we can thrive, not just survive. Thank you for tuning in to the Private Practice Survival Guide podcast. I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you. Exciting news. We're now available everywhere, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to YouTube or anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts. So watch, listen, and reach out. If you loved this episode, please drop a 5-star review. It truly means the world to me. Are you looking for more ways to elevate your practice? If so, now is your chance. Reach out, go to my website, or email me at brandon@wellnessworksmp.com. And remember, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.